Welcome to the Empowerment Zone, brought to you by South Dade NAACP, where we share trustworthy information, uplift local voices, and connect you to the resources and pathways that support thriving, one conversation, one connection, and one action at a time. It is where South Miami-Dade listens, learns, and leads.
Hello, family. Welcome to another edition of the Empowerment Zone. My name is Harold Ford, your host. And today we have a very special guest. He's a candidate running for judge, as well as father,
yes,
a homemaker, and as well as a good brother in general. More importantly, I want to introduce you to Mr. Arthur McNeil, Esquire. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ford. It's great to be here with you today.
Thank you. Before we get started, I want you to share with the people, who is Mr. Arthur McNeil?
Well, I am the son of a U.S. Army veteran and an educator. I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, the baby boy in the family. Mm-hmm. And one of the interesting things, my father's love language was acts of service.
All right.
You know? So if he was helping somebody, I was helping somebody.
Gotcha.
I grew up in the church. My grandfather was a minister of two churches. Okay. He was blessed to live 100 years.
Wow.
And I grew up right across the street from him. So always had family around, aunts and uncles and cousins, and a lot of people pouring into me for my village.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. You from here originally?
No, actually, I'm originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Talk about it.
But when I was young, we came to Miami for a cruise on vacation one time. Yeah, fell in love. Yeah, Miami never left me after that. Funny, parents, sometimes you hear your kids say, when I grow up, this is what I'm going to do, you know, and it's like, okay. But one of the things I said was like, this is where I want to live when I grow up, when I'm an adult.
Okay.
And fortunately, after graduating law school, I was blessed to get a job at the Public Defender's Office, and I've been here ever since.
All right. Awesome. So now the question is, what inspired you to run for Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge, and why do you believe now is the right time for you to serve on the bench?
Very good question. So another interesting story talking about that village, right? Mm-hmm. When I got sworn in as a judge, I had a large number of family members come down to support me and be there the day I got sworn in. One of them was my aunt, my late aunt.
Okay.
And, get sworn in, start taking pictures with family. When it's her time, she says, okay, now I want you to start working on being a judge. And that was one of the first seeds that was planted that like, okay, you can do this as well. And that's one of the things that inspired me to become a judge. So, 19 years later, going through my career, before 19 years, it was something that I, started to see myself doing more and more. Okay. The more you practice, the more you're in court, the more you're in front of judges, and you start to see, I can do this. This is something that I can do. The dream kind of really became attainable. So it's something that's been on my mind to do for a while. And now I feel like is the time to do it.
All right. Well, your campaign emphasizes being fair, proven, and dedicated to justice.
Yes.
What do these three principles mean to you in a courtroom setting?
They mean a lot because as a judge, we are required to be impartial, right? You don't want a judge that before they're able to hear the facts of the case, before they're able to listen to the witnesses and receive the evidence, making up their mind. So being fair is very crucial to this role. We have to treat everybody with dignity and respect, not treat people with biases or with a predisposed belief about them. Mm-hmm. So being fair is very critical. I'm proven because I've been a litigator. I've tried a number of cases from simple misdemeanors all the way to very complicated life felonies. And being dedicated to the community, dedicated to justice is a big thing because as a judge, we are a steward of justice, right? Mm-hmm. We're not here to dispense from our own purview, our own wealth of knowledge. We are public servants. We're here to do the public work.
Right.
And that's a very important thing because, they say, if you want to see someone's true nature, give them power.
That's right.
Right. So we have to be committed to justice more so than donning the robe and having authority.
Amen. Now, I understand that you've tried more than 65 cases.
Yes, sir.
I think through the Public Defender's Office.
Yes.
Okay. and you've handled matters ranging from, as you described, misdemeanors to complicated, life situations,
Yes.
felony cases. What lessons from the courtroom will guide your decision making as a judge?
One of the lessons that'll guide me as a judge is learning to listen. As a child, we may hear a lot of sayings from our parents, and one of them that I recall is, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so you should listen twice as much as you speak. So definitely learning, or not learning, but listening to the litigants. As the attorney, it's my responsibility to bring the case, to argue the facts, and to educate the judge about the case. As the judge, it's your job to listen. You listen to both sides, you take the evidence, and you make a ruling that's in accordance with the law.
Gotcha.
So that is one of the things that I really, really want to make sure that I'm doing on the bench, and not, not coming in with a preconceived idea.
Amen. And that's so important.
Yes.
That's so important.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times we take for granted what judges do.
Yes.
On the bench. We don't realize what they wrestle with or struggle with in making certain decisions or pronouncements.
Yes.
And then we've seen the other extreme where it seems that some are just, I guess you could say that they really aren't concerned about certain dynamics that may play out within that courtroom, or how society may view those decisions and the overall impact. So, but many people interact with the court system during stressful and life-changing moments.
Yes.
How would you ensure that everyone who appears before you feel heard and respected?
One way, and some of the best judges that I've seen do this, and it's a very simple way. Be polite, speak to people, greet people. I know from my practice as an attorney, a lot of times people will come to court and the judge calls the case. The state may make an announcement, the defense may make an announcement or say some words, and then we're moved on to the next case. And the litigant, the defendant, the victim, the witness is standing there like, okay, well, what just happened? Can I leave? Am I going to jail? Everybody's talking about me like I'm not here in the room. So just speaking to people, making sure that they understand what's going on, what the purpose of coming here today is, what we're planning to accomplish, and what we need to do between now and the next time we come back.
Right.
So everybody is aware what their responsibility is in the process.
Okay. And that kind of leads into the next, question, because, public confidence in the judicial system is essential.
Yes.
And so what can judges do to kind of strengthen trust and transparency in the courts and in the process?
One thing is, like I just said, educate the public, educate people about why we're here, what we're going to do. Also, within the limits that we can, go out into the community and educate people about the law and processes. One of the things that's kind of different and unique about being a judge is that we have canons that are slightly different than officials, other elected officials, other constitutional officers. So there's things that judges can do and the things that judges can't do.
Gotcha.
So we have to stay within those limits, but there still is opportunity to educate the public and make them aware about legal issues.
Wow. Okay. Now, Miami-Dade County, as you know, is one of the most diverse communities in the nation.
Yes.
And so how does that diversity influence your understanding of justice and fairness?
It greatly influences my understanding of justice and fairness, right? Miami-Dade is a large community with a lot of different ethnicities, a lot of different racial groups, a lot of different backgrounds. We have people that come to this country leaving another country with a completely different government, completely different judicial system, and yet we have to make sure that everything works as it's supposed to work. I found that people, despite the differences that we may see, or despite the things that we may, boxes people try to put someone in, are you this, are you that? Once you strip away all the, we all have the same desires, right? Everybody wants to have a family. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be treated fairly with dignity and respect. And so the core values of who we are as human beings
Mm-hmm.
is really the same.
Gotcha.
We just have to help people to understand that, I'm not against you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to help us all get together.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. That's right. So now, one of the main concerns that we've had over the years is people having access to justice, and it's a challenge for many residents who cannot find or afford legal representation when they go into a courtroom. So what role should judges play in ensuring equal access to the process and the court system, within the court system?
Well, very good question. Within the court system, in order to make sure that there's equal access, I think judges should, one, and the good judges, like I said, they do, show up prepared, know what's on your docket, what's there to be addressed today. So you can ask probing questions and thoughtful questions. You can make sure that the litigants get the chance to litigate their case the way they, within the rules, the way they'd like, but also you're prepared to find out information about the case that you need in order to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So being prepared helps you run the calendar smoothly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Helps things be addressed timely and without a lot of wasted time.
Mm-hmm.
So when the judge is prepared, when the attorneys are prepared, everyone gets a chance to have their day in court and argue their case.
Mm-hmm.
That's, the top thing that I believe is just being prepared for what the work ahead is.
Okay. Now, is there any recommendations you would have for individuals who are going before a judge? Now, I'm not talking about the attorneys, because we know the attorneys have their responsibilities, so on and so forth. But that individual who may be a victim or, perpetrator,
right?
What would you recommend to them they do in presenting themselves or their case as part of the process? Because again, a lot of times I've seen videos where individuals came in and they were not dressed a certain way.
Right.
The judge said, "This, I'll see you tomorrow."
Right.
Don't come in my courtroom this way or that way.
Right.
But then also looking at that individual, not knowing, as you said, ask probing questions. But are you asking the attorney? Are you asking the individual? What would you recommend? An individual coming before a judge, how should they not just present themselves,
right,
but how they prepare themselves, because they don't know what to expect.
So the first thing that I would recommend is make sure you're in communication with your lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Always talk to your lawyer. Many times people may be unrepresented or they may be pro se.
Okay.
In that instance, I would recommend doing some research, finding out about the process, and showing up prepared as well as you can, right? Of course, Google, GPT, Claude, those aren't equal to a law degree. So you're not going to be on equal footing with a lawyer.
Correct.
If you're not a lawyer already.
Correct.
But communicate with the lawyer, study to know what is there, what your options are. And then when you get to court, follow the leadership of your lawyer. Doctors don't perform surgery on themselves.
Amen.
So you should not be the litigant and the attorney.
You don't have to convince me. But thank you for that bit of advice. Now, as someone who has served as a certified mediator, how has conflict resolution shaped your perspective on achieving fair outcomes?
As a mediator, that has greatly impacted my service, and it also has helped my litigation as an attorney. As a mediator, it's kind of like a judge, just minus the authority to make people do something. As a mediator, I had the pleasure of helping people, two opposing sides, reach an agreement that they could both live with.
Okay.
And that would be one of the things I would tell them in my opening statement. I'm a mediator. I'm here to help you both reach an agreement that you can live with. If you go to court, the judge may rule in your favor or he may rule in favor of your opponent. You could both leave the courtroom not being satisfied and feeling like, man, I didn't get anything I wanted.
Right.
But while we're here today, while we're in this room, you have a chance to get the things that you want, and you have a chance to get the things that you want, and you can both walk out feeling like I won. I came away successful. That approach has helped me in litigation because, you inevitably have to negotiate with the opposing side. You have to be able to understand the core principles or the core values, the things that they say, I can't walk away without this. And you have to be able to present your core values and things that you can't walk away with in a manner that's also kind of appealing or at least understandable to them.
Gotcha.
So as a judge, I think that skill will translate as well, because judges cannot try every case that's on their docket that comes before them.
That's right.
But they can still make sure justice is done in those cases. And if you can help the parties reach the agreement between themselves, it's kind of a win-win situation.
Gotcha. Amen. Amen. Now, for young people, especially those from underrepresented communities who may be interested in careers in law, what advice would you offer to them?
My advice would be go meet a lawyer, intern somewhere, volunteer, do whatever you can to see that dream become a reality.
Mm-hmm.
The first lawyer I met was in high school, and because we were involved in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really, brief exchange, more transactional. Come in, give your statement. The lawyer does his work behind the scenes, and the case is over, and goodbye.
Right.
Other than that, lawyers that I saw were on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reasons why I volunteer in the community a lot is because I want people to see people that look like them doing things that they think is unreachable or very far off. I want them to see that, no, it's closer than you think.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to try and work your hardest.
Gotcha. Now, what inspired your journey into the legal profession?
What inspired my journey to the legal profession? When I was young, I like I said, I watched television.
Perry Mason.
Some of the yes. So Perry Mason, Matlock, and Claire Huxtable. Those were the three lawyers that I knew, and they were always fighting for people.
Yes.
They wouldn't give up on people, until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
They were always there fighting for people, and that inspired me to say, okay, well, they're helping people. That's what I wanted. I want to help people.
Gotcha.
And those are like my three kind of heroes or idols that were lawyers growing up. Claire Huxtable, we didn't see her much in court, but if you ever saw her cross-examine somebody, they did not survive.
Yes.
And she did it pleasantly and with a smile.
Exactly. Undressed you.
Yes.
In the nicest way possible.
Yes.
But you didn't mention Uncle Phil, but that's okay. No, I'm just joking.
So I did watch Fresh Prince growing up as well, but
not much.
He wasn't quite Claire Huxtable.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. What now, as you talk about volunteering,
yes.
What organizations did you volunteer at, and then what organizations would you recommend, young people volunteer?
So there are quite a few organizations that I've volunteered with. I am a 5,000 Role Model of Excellence mentor. I have also been a volunteer coach with I-9 Sports.
Okay.
Early in my career, when I was in private practice, I was a member of the Youth Power Movement. And we would go into schools, into high schools, and teach young men how to tie ties,
Mm-hmm.
how to look professional and present themselves in a professional manner.
Gotcha.
I've also volunteered through my job as an assistant public defender.
Okay.
We present what's called a consequences aren't minor presentation, where we go to middle schools and high schools across Dade County, and we talk to kids about the consequences of an arrest,
Mm-hmm.
How it could delay or impact their future. We also do a Play It Smart presentation, which teaches them how to have positive interactions with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done volunteer with other organizations as well. And my volunteering began for me. Really, it began as a child growing up in church.
Right.
You're going to sing in a choir. You're going to usher. You're going to do something to volunteer in this room.
Gotcha.
And when I figured out I couldn't sing well, I became an usher.
Right.
Then in high school, I volunteered as a peer academic leader. We would go back to my elementary school and mentor the children there. We would also mentor behaviorally and emotionally handicapped students at our own school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's just continued all throughout my life.
Okay.
I've always believed in mentoring and helping people reach their goals and their better selves.
Okay. And see, interestingly, I don't see a lot of judges out in the community. But I can say when I was an assistant principal at Charles Drew, at the time it was K-8.
Okay.
When they became a K-8, I met Judge Rodney Smith.
Yes.
I guess Rodney. Yes. And he was actually doing Boy Scout troop.
Yes.
He was actually over a Boy Scout troop. I don't
been
know if he's still there or not.
He is. He's been a
but
troop leader for many years.
Right. And see, this was right before he got appointed.
To the federal bench?
Right.
Okay.
To the federal bench. And
Yes.
so he was still doing his thing in the community. And it gave me another level of respect because, again, it was the first judge that I had seen out in the community
Yes.
doing that type of work. So it's good to know that you're doing that work and that you're encouraging
Yes.
other young people to do the same. Now, as we get back to our questions, how will you ensure that structural biases do not influence outcomes in your courtroom?
So one of the ways that I can ensure that they don't influence outcomes in my courtroom is by checking myself. You know, it starts with me. I have to make sure that I'm not listening to evidence to get to the outcome that I think it should be. I have to listen and receive the evidence as it is, evaluate it for what it is, but make sure I'm not looking through a lens that's a little bit cloudy. As far as the litigants and the parties, they have to present their case. They have to, introduce evidence that's in accordance with the rules. But my job as the judge is kind of to be the officiant over the proceedings and make sure that the proper evidence is received.
Okay. And now, in this day and age, we're concerned about issues of race, socioeconomic status, and even language barriers,
Yep.
And so in your courtroom, when those issues bubble up, how would you handle that for those particular cases?
Well, one of the great things about criminal court is that we do have interpreters readily available in the court to interpret. So if there's a language barrier, we have the ability to call for one. They can come into court and they can interpret it for the witnesses. And a number of times I've had clients that are, bilingual, but English may not be their first language.
Right.
And one of my obligations is to make sure that they're able to understand the proceedings in a language that's comfortable to them.
Gotcha.
I speak a little bit of Spanish, and inevitably when I try to speak to someone in Spanish, I'll get pretty good into the conversation, and then there's a barrier, right?
Gotcha.
And now imagine if that's happening on a stressful day.
Gotcha.
You're trying to present your case the best way you can, but you're being forced to do it in a manner that's not native to you. And that can just add to the frustration. So making sure there's an interpreter available for folks with language barriers is a big thing. In civil court, it's not quite the same, but it would be my obligation to make sure that people are comfortable and able to present their case in the official language of the courthouse,
Right. And the issues of race and socioeconomic status.
Those issues are important as well, because many times someone's perception about a proceeding can greatly affect their presentation.
Exactly.
If you come into court and you perceive that the judge isn't receiving you well, if you perceive that there is a bias, sometimes that makes people shift and present differently, or they may get flustered, they may lash out. But my job, my role is to make sure that everyone is comfortable. Everybody understands, listen, you're going to get your fair shake today. This isn't going to be decided on an issue that's not related to the matter. So an issue of race, an issue of identity, things of that nature, we're not going into that. We're going to present the case. We're going to listen to the facts, and we're going to rule according to the law. Gotcha.
And as we kind of prepare to wrap up, what advice would you give, again, to those young aspiring individuals, whether they want to go into law or eventually those that are currently in law, that aspire to become a judge? What would you express to them?
My advice would be never give up on your dreams, and don't let anyone tell you no. You can achieve anything you set your mind to as long as you work hard. You may have to make a few sacrifices, but work hard, don't lose your dream, and keep fighting for it. I've always believed, I've had parents that have trained me and raised me and did the best they could to instill confidence in me and let me know that, hey, anything you see, anything you dream of, you can attain it, you can achieve it if you put forth the effort.
Okay. And now how can someone get in touch with you? I know with respect to your campaign and your aspirations to move forward.
All right. To find out more about me or my campaign, you can go to McNeilforjudge.com, and it's all spelled out, McNeilforjudge.com. You can like and follow me at McNeil for Judge on social media.
Okay. And Mr. McNeil, we thank you for coming out, for sharing your perspectives, but more importantly, sharing your heart.
Thank you so much for having me.
And God bless you. And this concludes our episode of The Empowerment Zone.
Thank you for joining us in the Empowerment Zone, brought to you by South Dade NAACP, where information becomes action, voices become movements, and community becomes change. We hope today's conversation inspired you to stay informed, stay engaged, and stay empowered. Remember, our voices are strongest when they are heard at the ballot box. Voting and voter registration are powerful tools that help shape our schools, neighborhoods, leadership, and future. Encourage someone to register, make a plan to vote, and continue doing your part to strengthen our community. And don't forget to email your feedback, thoughts, and/or suggestions for topics that you want to hear about to podcast@southdade.naacp.org. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep leading, because together we are building a stronger South Miami-Dade, one conversation at a time.